Hi friends, Renee Keese here with Carolina Creative. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here with card making ideas for you. Today is going to be a very quick, simple card. I'm in the middle of a very busy week and this paper was speaking to me this morning. It's from the Sentimental Wishes set. And what I did was out of the 12 by 12 piece of paper, the big sheets of designer series paper, I cut out this strip. So it is 5 1/4 long by 3 1/4 wide because I really wanted this lantern to be the focal point. So this is going to be the basis of my card. But now I also have the bottom piece of this piece of paper. And so it's got the same dimensions, and this is going to be a separate card, and I'll just show you quickly what I'm thinking about doing with that. But this is my card focus for today. So with this, I'm coordinating it with the copper clay as a frame, picking up kind of the colors of the lantern. And then this is Lost Lagoon, and I'm trying to tie it in. Peacock would work as well, but tie it in with the colors of these boughs. So that's kind of my color theme for how this card will come together. So let me flip the camera down here to my work area and let's get started. I am going to let the paper do the bulk of the work here. So I did pick a sentiment from the same Sentimental Wishes, and so I'm using the Let's Celebrate the Season and going to stamp that in the peacock. So I'm picking the darker color here, and I was just looking at this trying to decide where do I want this to go, and maybe I don't know if I want to cover up the snowflake. There's really no wrong way to put it. I think I'm going to do it up here. No, I think I'm going to fill the void space down here. Okay. Make a decision and do it, right? Oh, and of course I didn't ink it well. Well, time to get creative. So now what I'm going to do is, I was trying to go too fast. I'm going to take a piece of Lost Lagoon and do a quick die cut. So that, or actually I could do it in white instead of Lost Lagoon. Let me grab a piece of white cardstock scrap and see if I can very quickly do an oval. I think that will fit. Do an oval that will fit that. And I'm not going to move this so you see it. You're going to see my backside as I crank it over here. So that's what happens when we try to work too fast. And I will redo this later because I missed an edge, but you'll see how this will go together. So now let me stamp this and ink it up better. There, that is the way it's supposed to stamp. And now for the inside, I'm going to set all this aside. I'm going to start from the inside and work out. I wanted to stamp my sentiment. Yep, same color. I'm going to use the peacock, which is just a shade darker than the Lost Lagoon. And I'm going to use, I'm making sure I get this inked up. This ink pad has some different texture to it, so I need to make sure I ink it well because we already saw what happens if you don't ink it up well. And I don't need to do that twice. There. And then I wanted to add, to match those pine boughs on the front, I pulled from the Golden Greenery out of the Seasons of Green and Gold Suite, this pine bough again. And I'm thinking, let me look at how I want to do this. Yeah, maybe I want 2 of them. I want them, I'm not stamping the whole image. I just got a portion of it. I got a little bit of ink right there. But yeah, I wanted it to kind of coordinate with the paper here. So there we have it. Now I'm done with the ink. I'm going to put this away so I don't put fingers or elbows or something into it. And now I'm going to start assembling. And then I'll show you what this card will look like, even though I'm going to restamp that front and die cut that and make it better. But you'll get the idea as I put this together. Or I may decide I can move, no, I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to layer and put a frame on this. And so you can tell I just did a 1/4 inch bigger on my frame. So this was a 5 1/2 long by 3 1/2 wide. And it very simply goes together like this. And you can see what it would have looked like if I had stamped it appropriately or inked it up appropriately. So now I'm going to use, to add all these layers, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. And I had people over this weekend doing some stamping with me, so several people were using this tape runner, and it didn't want to feed the first go round. So let me center, I'm going to center this because it is the focal point. All right, and then this is going to go on top of the card. So let me put this together and show you what it would look like. Sticking to my finger. Like I said, I will redo this die cut, but my intention was that it would say, let's celebrate the season, right on the paper. So what am I going to do with the other piece? The bottom half still has a very pretty winter scene. So I was thinking of framing this in green and possibly die cutting one more tree to put on here. And then I picked Balmy Blue. Again, I'm trying to go with the blues in the paper. And I'm thinking I may emboss some trees for the very bottom layer. So I may trim this mat even smaller and put it over the side so that you'll still see some of the trees on the other side. That's kind of what I'm thinking about this second card, is to make it another winter scene. This probably will not end up being a Christmas card. I don't know, with the trees and just the snowflakes, it could very easily be birthday, anniversary, something for, you know, January or February in those winter months. So those are my ideas for today, using the Sentimental Wishes paper. Let me flip this back up. The one thing I was going to add to this, and it's sitting here on my work table, I'm not done, and flip this back down. The one thing I was going to add to this to really give it a little pizzazz was I've got this iridescent bow. This is the new iridescent ribbon, and I was going to put that at the top. And of course, put a little Wink of Stella on the shimmer on the candle here, and I guess a couple highlights on the lantern. I really want it to pop because it's the focal point. So there you have it. Now you can actually see what I was thinking this card would look like, even though I had to improvise. And then a second card, because it'll come together very quickly, following the same basic format, but with the bottom half of that piece of paper. So there's my card making ideas for today. If you like the projects or the products you see here, you can find me at stampinup.net or follow me at Carolina Creative or at #Carolina Creative. Thanks for joining today. Stay tuned for the next video.